Lexi, this is your third time on ENYO. How are you feeling about it?
I'm very excited. I like you say, it's my third occasion, so I know what to expect, and I'm looking forward to it.
Incredible. And we're joined by with your dad, Lee. Hi, Lee. How you doing?
I'm very good, very good. Bit sore at the moment, but we're pushing on. But good to see you.
Fantastic. We'll come back to you later, Lee. It's really great to be able to chat with you both for the ENYO Submission Only Jiu Jitsu podcast and the ENYO7 event at Central Hall in Southampton on Saturday, the 7th of June. If you haven't already got your tickets, go and get them now. And if you've missed this time, go and buy tickets to support ENYO grappling for future events. This episode is sponsored by Tough Cherry. Founder Amy makes all of the rash guards and garments herself with meticulous precision. Go and check out Tough Cherry on Instagram and on their website. And also go and check out all of the other sponsors for ENYO7 in the show notes. So Lexi, better known as Alexis Edwards, thank you for joining me. Tell me about your jiu-jitsu journey, and maybe let's start with the previous ENYO submission-only events.
Yeah, so I started jiu-jitsu when I was 6 years old, and I was on the first ENYO and the fifth ENYO. So first ENYO, I was grey belt, and I fought against the yellow belt. I managed to win on judge's decision, and then later on got my yellow belt during the week. The fifth ENYO, I went against the girl that I fought in competition who I lost against, and then managed to win in ENYO with a armbar from Mount.
Yeah. Fantastic. So how did it feel on that very first ENYO? Were you nervous? Because obviously, was this your first invitational ever?
Yeah, it was. I was really nervous, but like I said, I was really excited too. And I think the most thing I was nervous about was being in front of everyone, because it's so different to other competitions, being on one mat and everyone looking at you.
Yeah. How have you dealt with the kind of audiences that turn up for ENYO events?
Well, I didn't really know what to expect on the first one, because when you start fighting on it, it's really quiet, and then if someone like hits a sweep or a takedown or goes for a sub attempt, then it goes like crazy and everyone starts clapping and shouting, and I didn't expect it at first, but I was more ready for it on the fifth one.
Oh, amazing. Now, was it you that hit the first sweep on the ENYO one?
We did a bit of stand up for a while, and then the girl, she pulled guard, and I think I managed to pass it, and then that's when it started.
Good. And so ENYO 5, you were a bit more ready. Talk me through what that experience was like for you.
Well, coming out, I feel like I was a lot more confident, because the first time I was nervous. I was going up a higher belt. But the fifth one, I was a lot more confident, I think, running around doing the walkout, going in for it. It was a much quicker start as well. She pulled guard straight away instead of us standing up for a bit. So I feel like I got into the match straight away instead of having to wait for a bit.
Now, do you you kind of mentioned about the transition, the stand-up game, and then pulling guard. What do you prefer? Are you quite good from a stand-up position?
Well, I like to play from different things. Like I'll take down or I'll go around to the back. I'm not as much of a guard puller, but if I need to pull guard, I will.
Yeah, nice. It sounds like you've got a bit of a game plan and a bit of a routine. You know what you want to get out of this. And ENYO7 being your third outing for ENYO grappling, which is just incredible. But let's talk a bit more about your kind of journey through jiu-jitsu, starting at the age of 6, and you're now 15. So you're approaching 10 years in jiu-jitsu, when most of us have only just started.
Yeah, so I turned 16 in September, and that's when I'll be approaching the adult belts and hopefully getting my blue belt. So I'm really excited for that. And Yeah, 10 years of jiu-jitsu. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I think, when you're in things like this, you tend not to appreciate and be able to reflect on your journey so much. But Dad, Lee, you've seen this from the outside. Any reflections on Lexi's nearly 10-year journey in jiu-jitsu?
Huge. I think we do reflections most weeks, to be honest, but in terms of when she started and the person she is, not only just on the mats but off the mats, is the growth is incredible. The confidence as an individual, as a person, she's grown. Skill set on the mats, savage. But also the relationship she's been building, and that's played a massive part. And I think Lexi, very humble and doesn't always perhaps take a step back to look at the achievements that she's done. And you see some of this tenure, and 10 years is incredible, right? And it's been constant. It hasn't been 10 years with a few years off, or even 6 months. I think the longest she's had off is 3 weeks for a holiday. It's fantastic.
Nice. Talking about holidays, do you happen to pack your gi or your no gi kit and train when you're away on holiday?
Yeah, definitely. We went to Australia a few years ago and went up there, took my gi, and I did a bit of training up there, and there was a competition on the weekends. We signed up for it and went and competed out there. So
I knew cool. There was some hidden things going on. Lee, tell me what Lexi was like before she started training jiu-jitsu at the age of 6. I've got an 8-year-old now, and actually she's been training for a couple of years, and I've already seen her confidence grow. But what was Lexi like before jiu-jitsu?
Still very, very polite, and good skills that way, but incredibly shy, very timid. Even things like eye contact or walking over to speak to someone that she would even know would be uncomfortable. And it goes without saying that just over the years and building relationships that have helped massively with Lexi's confidence, and because it's very demonstrable, she can see the achievements. I think the penny dropped probably for Lexi in my opinion, probably about 3-4 years ago, where I think she actually started to think, you know what, I'm getting this. I think the secondary school has helped massively, and it's just gone from strength to strength. And people were starting to look at that and ask lots of questions. People at school asking lots of questions, and it's been massive. Really, really proud moment.
There we go, Lexi. Your dad's proud of you. But Lexi, tell me about your kind of journey before the secondary school. Do you remember kind of the frequency of training, some of the challenging times that you might have had as a young person in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, well, like Dad said, I was always quite shy. I think even like the first few years of jiu-jitsu, I was still very shy. But going into competitions and stuff, talking to new people, meeting new people definitely helps me get out of that. And when I was younger, I was struggling with talking. But it definitely grew.
Do you know what? I was chatting with some friends over the weekend, and we were kind of in agreement that we are all in jiu-jitsu. We've already gathered all the people that have something in common, and it does make it a little bit easier just to strike up a conversation and maybe talk about guard pulling, or your armbar technique, or a berimbolo if you're a blue or purple belt. How has jiu-jitsu kind of helped that conversation specifically for you?
Well, going to open mats and competitions, like I say, seeing new people my age as well, like you say, talking to them about just normal jiu-jitsu things, and then saying like, oh, how long have you been training? And they've been training a similar amount of time. It's just, like you say, a good conversation starter, and it's good to make friends that way.
And talking about open mats, is that something you like to kind of go to? Is this part of your training schedule to attend open mats?
Yeah, definitely. I try to go to as many as I can. It's so good to train with different people and learn different things from new gyms, and like seeing different people's techniques, how they do it, boys and girls, because, you know, everyone's
Yeah.
got a different way of doing things.
Yeah, I think, you know, appreciating everyone's kind of unique individual approach to jiu-jitsu. So whilst we might be taught the same moves or concepts or whatever, we all interpret them just a little bit different. Talk to me about some of your signature moves. I know you're quite a kind of mixed bag in terms of your techniques, and you like to mix things up and maybe be a little bit unpredictable. But do you have anything that by your laugh there, Lee, it sounds like, you know, no one knows what's coming out of Lexi with the next submission. Is there anything that you really are very proud about in terms of your techniques, submissions, or kind of, you know, things?
Well, like you said, I like to mix it up a bit. It all depends on what I want to do in the moment and what the other person does. So yeah, like I say, I'll do a takedown, I'll pass guard, I'll pull guard, get an arm bar, a choke.
Yeah,
it's whatever I feel like.
Nice. And I'm going to keep pushing this one. What do you enjoy drilling the most?
I probably enjoy drilling guard passing the most.
Good. Is that you passing someone else's guard, or you keeping guard?
Passing someone else's guard and going to side control and working from there, getting a sub from there.
Nice. I'm still, you know, protecting the guard and trying to defend it. That's where I am at the moment. But very, very much less time on the mats and training compared to you, which is amazing. So you managed to get your dad into jiu-jitsu. How easy was that?
Well, we were trying to for like a year or two. There was loads of people at the gym saying like, oh no, you should come try it. Like the other mums and dads, John and Joe, were saying like, no, you need to come and try it out. And then he just got into it from there.
Good. Any regrets, Lee?
If you were to ask me a few months ago, definitely not. Injury based now. I'm an RN. No, absolutely not. It's you know, I'm massive advocate for it, what it does on and off the mats, and the community's brilliant, right? You know, and you know that full well yourself. So no regrets. Yeah, ups and downs definitely, but no regrets.
So any young people training jiu-jitsu, and if parents are listening and you're not training, we will be encouraging you to get on the mats and start training. You know, it's good for everyone. This is the ENYO Submission Only Jiu-Jitsu podcast with me, Lou Temlett, talking with all of the upcoming ENYO7 competitors and sponsors. One of the things that would really help this show grow is by you subscribing on whichever platform you are listening or watching on. If you could do that for me right now, I would be forever grateful. And as always, go and check out the clips on YouTube and Instagram at ENYO Grappling. Today, I am having a chat with Alexis Edwards and her dad, Lee. Thank you both for joining me. Let's talk about kind of where you're training at the moment, some of the people that have supported your journey, Lexi, and maybe some training partners to be dropped in there as well.
Yeah, so like I said before, when I started training when I was 6, I bounced across a few gyms and then found what was known as Phoenix, now known as Parity. And my coaches, Joe and John Wellstead, they've been with me since the start. Like, they've definitely helped me with everything, with my training, with my competitions, preparation for everything. So I'm hugely grateful for that. And one of my training partners, Billy Ayling, he's blue belt, similar size to me, always helps me with competitions, for preparation. He'll roll with me, show me stuff, help me with things. And he's always been there for when I need to compete.
Amazing. How important is it that you find a training partner of similar kind of size to develop your skills and ability with, either for competitions or for invitationals like ENYO7?
I feel like it's definitely needed, because if you're stuck training with people that are bigger than you or smaller than you, you never really understand or can feel how it would be like in a competition or how it would be like in an invitational. You need someone a similar size to you, similar skill level to help you. Yeah.
Amazing. Shout out to Billy. Thank you for that, Lexi. Now, you mentioned competitions. Do you have a fair a fair collection of medals?
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely done like over 50 competitions. I've competed since I was 8, so yeah, quite a few.
Incredible. At least, yeah. I was going to say kind of packing up and carrying them around, but you don't wear them all at the same time. I only have one, so I wear mine pretty much all the time. No, I don't really, I promise, if you're still listening. Okay, Lexi, let's talk about some of your kind of goals and visions for your future jiu-jitsu career.
Yeah, so when I'm 16 in September, I'll hopefully go to Blue Belt, and then I want to go like all around the world doing IBJJFs, big competitions, winning worlds, winning Europeans, like just racking in as many golds as I can, and going to train in different like countries as well with different people, different gyms, meeting new people.
Amazing. More than just Australia. I don't suppose you've got any holidays coming up in 2025?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, so it's competitions and all sorts of other things. But
Yeah.
wherever you do end up, at open mats, I'm sure you will be practicing for your future career. Now, you're in the middle of your GCSEs and you are kind of mocks coming up. Talk to me about, some of the subjects you're studying and how they might integrate with your jiu-jitsu career.
Yeah, so I take photography and business studies, and I definitely want to try incorporate that into my jiu-jitsu and go around taking pictures at competitions, at open mats, training, and I have work experience in about a month's time at the gym, so I'm gonna try and take as many pictures as I can. I can use some of my business skills that I've been learning to work on some of the admin with Joe and all of that stuff.
Amazing. It's a great opportunity when you can work in a kind of a subject area or a profession that you really enjoy. It really does make life feel so much nicer. I love doing jiu-jitsu podcasting, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But yeah, more jiu-jitsu, more podcasting. Lee, talk to me about how you've been able to support Lexi's growth throughout her career so far.
Yeah, I think she's referenced it then about the plan. For someone her age, she's far more structured and visionary than perhaps she comes across sometimes. So there is a plan to everything. We are looking at probably expanding a bit more into IBJJF after the 16th birthday and trying to get that family balance of our holiday tends to be to Australia to see the in-laws. So it's trying to get that balance of, European competitions versus going to the other side of the world. Like she referenced, she still managed to put in an application, competed in the submission only comp when she was in Australia, which was surreal. But yeah, routine is everything. I mean, up until recently, we're in the gym pretty much 6 days a week, each of us. Lexi continues that, and the routine of making sure that I can get her or my wife can get her to the gym. We've got a brilliant network around us, in terms of like the guys at the gym have really taken Lexi under their wing around pickups, lifts, etc. if needed through work challenges. And routine is key, and I think that's what's really started to see Lexi grow and the building blocks to hopefully what will be a long career in the game.
Incredible. I would absolutely agree that routine as a kind of mid-teenager is something that some of us haven't adopted, still might not be adopting, but it makes such a difference to one's success in life. Do you enjoy the kind of structure and routine, Lexi? Obviously, it sounds like it's something that's second nature for you.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I love coming home from school, getting ready for the gym, going to the gym, training, whether it's jiu-jitsu or S&C or both on the day. I love having that routine, having something to look forward to at the end of the day.
Yeah, good. Lots of incredible success to look forward to. But let's talk about ENYO7 and how you're preparing and what your mindset kind of looks and feels like ready for the end of the week.
Yeah, so I'm still training as much as I can, trying to get those extra rounds in, getting those competition rounds in with people that I trust and people that are a similar size to me. Like I say, Billy's been helping me lots with that as well. Extra sessions in the gym, rolling with him. Joe's been helping me too. And yeah, just training as much as I can, getting ready for it.
Amazing. Any words of support or any further advice from you, Lee, for Lexi's upcoming invitational?
No, I think, over the years we've had a few spikes between us relationship wise, getting ready for comps, even on the day and minutes before going on the mat. We've been trying to find that balance of what and how we talk and what and how we communicate, and from cornering her. I mean, for ENYO, she doesn't need it. She's very much into it now. She knows what to look and feel, and she's ready to go, which is brilliant. So just enjoy it like she always does.
Incredible. Now, I've asked a number of kind of fighters that are on ENYO 7 what they would prefer the audience to be doing. Some of them want to be kind of loud and cheering and shouting. Others are more gentle chit chat and kind of commenting on, guard pulls or sweeps or submissions. But what would suit you, Lexi?
Definitely like a loud crowd. Like I want it to be loud and shouting, clapping, cheering. Yeah.
Nice. We will be there cheering from the front row for you, Lexi. I am very, very excited. Thank you so much for joining me. How can people follow your journey and see all of your jiu-jitsu successes, Lexi?
So my Instagram account is Alexis_Edmundo4. So I post as much as I can on there with my journey and all my competitions and everything.
Incredible. Well, thank you both so much. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for telling your friends about this show. And as soon as this episode ends, I'd really appreciate you dropping the show a rating and a review. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the ENYO Submission Only Jiu Jitsu podcast.